Hello, students. So, what we are going to see in this presentation is about the lab that we are going to learn in this semester, building applications using GPT-4. The subject code is 24CS2506. And in this presentation, we'll be seeing about the lab overview and we'll see what is it we are going to do in this lab and what tool are we going to work with in this lab. And the course objective is we are going to explore the foundational concept of GPT-4 and its architecture. And then we are going to implement certain APIs for developing some applications, some interactive applications like chatbot, email assistant, and all such. And then we are going to evaluate those models as well. So it's a one credit paper. So we'll have 6 experiments. So the first experiment is we are going to develop an e-commerce chatbot, like how you have Rufus for your Amazon. We are going to develop a similar chatbot of that kind. And then we'll be doing AI content generator, smart email assistant, and recommendation system, legal document analyzer, and a medical assistant. And you know what is GPT-4? I need not explain much about it because every of us are using GPT-4 in our day-to-day life. How Google ruled us some years before, now this GPT is ruling us every day, right? So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It's a large language model developed by OpenAI. So when I say large language model, really it is so large. It's an AI model which is trained on a large corpus of language, right? So what is it trained for? It is trained to understand and generate human-like text, okay? And whatever you give, even if your spelling is not correct, your grammar is not correct, it is trained to understand it and answer your questions, writing content, summarizing, translating, generating code, and engaging in certain conversation. I hope a few people of this class or all of us are using GPT for any of these applications. And G stand for generative. Do these GPTs, when I give a query, go to Google or go to some web search, web crawling and get the content? No, certainly not. The model generate the content, right? So rather than retrieving the information, it usually generate the content, right? So may it be writing an essays, writing your assignments, writing your lab codes, or whatever purpose you use for writing your reports, it just generate. And P stand for pre-trained. Why do we call it as a pre-trained? It was already trained on a massive collection of books, articles, websites, and all conversations, and it is getting improvised based on your queries as well. So it has learned already. It is a master machine which has learned grammar, vocabulary, facts, reasoning patterns, writing styles, programming languages. Still, it is keep on learning, right? So, and using the prompt that we give, okay, it easily understand who is using the system, and it also memorizes who you are. And later, you might have generated some interesting images as well using chat gpt on what is your career about, okay, who am I about, okay. So all those, I hope you have also worked with that. So it is pre-trained and it is also in the adaptation phase. So the third one is a transformer. The transformer is actually the deep learning architecture or the foundation for this large language model, right? So why do we call it as a transformer? How does it differ from the existing deep learning architectures? You might have worked with various segmentation architecture, classification architectures, and suddenly why this transformer architecture is paying so much of attention is this: it operates on self-attention mechanism. So instead of processing on words, okay, it can easily understand a sentence, and it can easily collectively it will understand the sentence and it responds very quickly, right? You might have seen how you use ChatGPT. As soon as you give the prompt, it gives you the response, it generates you the response very quickly, right? So that is the power of the transformer. So the example, the student submitted the assignment because he finished it early. So immediately the transformer understands that he refers to the student. right? So such a knowledge is imparted into the GPTs using the transformer architecture. So 4 is this fourth generation. In the GPT family, there are many generations that has been invented earlier, and every generations are improvised based on, as I told you, it is an adaptive phase, it is improvised. And now what is current is a GPT-4, right? So it offers better reasoning, more accurate response, improved creativity, a stronger coding capability, better handling of complex instructions, and then enhanced safety and reliability. So how does actually GPT works? So user will give the prompt and GPT-4 analyzes the prompt and it predicts the most appropriate next word. So what could be the most appropriate next word, or what could be the most appropriate response for this prompt? And then it gives. As I told you, it does not search or it does not do a web crawling. It generates. That's why it is called as a generative pre-trained transformer, right? It generate the your answers. So for real world application, it's used for education. Most of you might be using GPTs for writing your assignments, your records preparation. All you have to do is a prompt. Immediately it generates you and give in the in the format of a Word or PDF or PPT. Even you don't understand the class concepts, you go to GPT, it acts as a home tutor for you. Even in healthcare, it is used. Many of us have now stopped going to the hospitals. We take a pic of something, give it to the GPT and ask for suggestion. Then customer support, right, and software development. Then content creation. So the content creators are heavily using GPT nowadays. It is used for business to generate the report. Even the for summarizing the legal document analysis, and for even generating the financial reports. So these are some of the real world applications. So what are we going to use in this lab? So building applications with GPT-4. So what is that? What is that we are going to do is we are going to work with a tool called Olama. Okay. And what is this Olama? It is a local runtime model or local runtime software. So, like your maybe your Jupyter or your Spider, Olama is also a runtime software. So you can download it. It's open source, available for everybody to download. You can download it. You can install it. So and it's good that you install it along with your Python Jupyter notebook. Pip install Olama. I'll show you that as well in the coming slide. So you can install it, and now this Olama will help you to pull a model, a transformer model, and build application that you want. So we'll see more about it. So Olama is a free tool that allows you to download, run, and manage a large language model. Okay. And this large language model does not run in the cloud, but it run on a local machine. So because of that, complete privacy for the data that you are using. And there is also an offline capability. You need not be connected to the internet, right? So how actually your GPT-4 works, like ChatGPT, Gemini, and all such GPTs, how it works. There is a user, the user gives a prompt, the user has to be connected to the internet, and as soon as you give the prompt, it connect to the cloud model and it generates the response. Okay. So how actually this GPT works is you can you will be downloading this Olama installed, and then what you can do is the user is connected to the internet, give the prompt goes to the cloud, get connected to the large language model there, and it generate the response. But actually, how Olama works is you will have the Olama in your local, and the local AI model is also downloaded into your computer, and then that generates the response. So it's good that you don't want an internet connection for it. The data set is very privately handled by you. You need not put the data set to the cloud, and then the zero API fee. So where is this Olama actually used? So what are the popular models used by Olama is this Llama 3, Mistral, Gamma, DeepSeek, Quen, and Pi 3. These are the different models. So in the coming labs, we'll explore what the model is, how actually it performs for different applications. So we'll do the evaluation process as well. So, how the Olama architecture works is you will have the Python app and you will just connect the Olama to the Python app, and you will also download the local AI model, whichever you want. Then it will generate the response for you. So, where can this Olama used? Maybe for your research purpose, for some classroom demos, as what we are going to do in this lab. Local chatbots, you feel that the chatbots need not be developed and it can be uploaded, but all the data that you chat with your GPT should be within you, that you can do it, or private document analysis, offline coding, and prototyping. So this is how you will open your notebook or your Jupyter notebook. You can write pip install Olama. So now the Olama is installed along with your Python app. So maybe a very small examples is from Olama, you can import the chat library. So response. Okay, so what is that response? So chat model. I'm going to use the model Llama 3. I told you there can be other 6 models that you can use with this Olama. So messages, you have to define the role first, whether you want the model to be behave like a user or the model to be behave like a system. So you have to give the role. We'll see what it is all about in the coming labs. Then you see what is AI and the responses generated. Okay. And let me show with a demo how actually that works. So here is the notebook where I have installed this Jupyter. This is my Jupyter notebook. And then I could see that pip install Olama. So Olama is installed. And now you have to install the model, right? To install the model, what you have to do is, I'll show you that as well. So in the command prompt, you can just type Olama. There are like hyphen version, it will give you the version, or Olama list will give you the list. So how can you install the model is? As of now, I don't have any models installed. So it is showing simply, okay? But to install a model, you give Olama pull Llama 3.2. So this is a version that I'm going to use now in my program. So 3.2. So it will just pull the model, install it. So success. So after that, if I give the list, it say Olama 3.2 latest is installed. Its ID is this, size is 2 GB. And it's modified 2 hours ago. I have not modified anything with the model. As of now, I'm just downloading the model and understanding how the model responds. Okay. Now moving on to our Jupyter program. So here you say that from Olama, import chat, response is chat of model, messages. So I say role is user and the content is what is AI, right? So, and it has generated me a very good response. AI refers to simulation of human intelligence. There are several type of AI, various techniques to achieve their goals. Okay, so now based on how you give the prompt, it has responded. So this is an introduction class which talks about what is GPT-4, what is the tool that we are going to work with, how to install the tool is what we have discussed in this class. So in the next video, we'll see about how to generate a chatbot, e-commerce chatbot using this Olama model. Thank you.